All right, here we go. Sim racing under $1,000. We got our computer that we ordered from eBay for 500 bucks in. And this is pretend on my side, but it's just going off base what we had on the video. I said I had similar hardware. This is a Ryzen 2600X, not the 3600 like was in the other one. We got a little different graphics card with an RX 6600 XT. So you can see that we got it hooked up and running just like you would your $500 computer from eBay. And you would have it hooked up to your 27-inch monitor that we selected throughout this process. And that's going to be your monitor to start with. I have a second screen just for running OBS on. You have your G29 Logitech, and you're either going to have it set up on your desk or your wheel stand. And in our case, it's going to be a Thrustmaster TMX, which was similar in price. There's the pedals for it. Let me get a flashlight so you can see better. Sorry about that, but there's the wheels for it. That's the pedals that would come stock with these wheels, and the G29 will be no different on how that works. But so you got the keyboard that obviously came with it, and you picked up a mouse too over there. So you got your keyboard and mouse set up. You have everything set up now. What do you do? Because a lot of people just getting into it wouldn't know what drivers and stuff they need to get started, and I showed you that we can do it for under $1,000 in 2025. But we're going to have to download everything, because when I started my computer, it literally had nothing on it. Basically, get it whatever window, whatever browser you want for the internet. In my case, I use the Mozilla Firefox. But then the first thing you're going to want to do is our eBay under $1,000 had a Logitech G29. So type Logitech G29 drivers in the search. Not Linux. G29 drivers, so we'll put that in the search. And it's going to come to downloads, and that's what you're going to get. It's a Logitech G Hub right there. So you're going to click download, install that, plug your wheel in, hook it up and plug it in. So plug your USB in, your wall outlet in, download this, and then install it like you would any other program. I'm going to do it with my TMX wheel. So if you were like me and you picked up a TMX, Thrustmaster TMX wheel, then we're going to do it like this. I'm going to switch you to OBS since I have it open. So we're going to record this on OBS, and I'm going to show you what you need to get, how you need to download iRacing, how you need to set your drivers up and that kind of stuff. But we're continuing on here with the under $1,000. That's right, under $1,000 sim racing budget build in 2025. Can you get started for under $1,000? Yes, you can. $975 will get you there, to be exact. But that started with our $500 computer that we looked up on eBay. That came with a keyboard, actually, so that was nice. And then we picked up our $100 wheel from eBay, which also came with the pedals, which will get you started, but that's one of the first things that I'll talk to you later about upgrading. So there this is. There's the mouse. Here's your, in my case, it's a 24-inch, 144 hertz monitor. In your case, it's a 27-inch curved. So your monitor probably look a little bit better than mine, but I'm going to switch over to the OBS side. I'm going to show you what you need to install so we can get ready to go iRacing here. Okay, so back on our under $1,000 iRacing expedition, we're going to call it. I chose the Thrustmaster TMX for the $100 on Evil Bay. I didn't go with the G29, but if you went with the G29, then I showed you with the GoPro how to do it, but I'll show you on here. It's easy. Punch in G29 drivers. That's right. Logitech G29 drivers. Going to take you to the website, and right there it's going to take you right to the G Hub download. Click download now and install the software. And if you don't know how to install it, hang tight, because we're going to go over here with our TMX, and I'm going to look for the driver package, which is right here, PC drivers, force feedback. We're going to download those real quick. But while I'm doing that, we need to go to iRacing because we have the year membership, so we need to get going on iRacing. and get our downloads done so we can actually get on track. So let's accept the cookies. For you, you're going to click the sign up button. It's that easy. Sign up and start racing. So I'm going to take you there. You're going to select your 1 year at $66. And this is where I stop and where you continue on because I already have it, so I don't need to pay for the 1 year. You put in your email, password, confirm it. That stuff, you're going to set up your account. Obviously, you're not a robot. And then you want to get your $66 1 year promotion. So for me, I'm just going to back that up and get out of there. And I'm going to go to login. And then I'm going to figure out, I'm going to switch page over here so I can log in and you can't see it. Because I don't need you to have my information. Because then you might be racing on my account. But we're not going to do that because we had that in the $1,000 budget today. Well, today's downtime is complete. That's good to hear. We're on the iRacing homepage. And I am going to download and install the iRacing software. So you'll get to this page once you set up your account. Just click on that. And it's going to say no service. So if you see the little blue box right here that I'm running my cursor over, let's blow this up, make it big. We're going to download the iRacing software. And I wanted to go ahead and get that download done because remember we already downloaded the drivers for your steering wheel. So the other thing I want you to set up while you're doing this, and you're going to appreciate this, is called Trading Paints. So if you go to Trading Paints, you can go to create an account right here. And this is what's going to allow you to see the custom paint jobs in iRacing and allow you to put your custom paint job on iRacing. So I, fortunately, have already got custom paint jobs on iRacing. All I need to do is sign into my account. So once again, I'm going to drag this page over to the side and sign into my account behind the scenes here. And we're going to get iRacing downloaded real fast. So let me go there to install the downloader. And voila. So we have downloads here. And we need to get to installing stuff. And this is where we're going to start at. The first thing we're going to do is install our steering wheel and pedals. So I'm going to just open up the file folder on the bottom. You guys probably know how to navigate Windows, so I shouldn't have to show you this. Open up File Explorer, go to Downloads. I'm going to find ours, which is going to be the TTRS for our Thrustmaster Racing wheel here, our TMX wheel. I'm going to double-click that EXE. Obviously, click yes when it starts. I'm going to minimize that screen, and we're going to install our driver for our steering wheel. So let's click Next here. Accept the terms and agreements. Obviously, if you want the drivers, you're going to have to do that. So here we go with this install real quick. This is for the Thrustmaster TMX because remember, that's what I got. You had the G29, so you're installing the G-Hub right now, which is similar, or whatever wheel you got. You're installing the respective drivers for that wheel. Oh, there goes my wheel. It just took off. I don't really want to restart my computer yet, but we are going to have to restart it. That's a given, but we just don't want to do it yet, so I'm going to put later. I want to go ahead and get this software installed before I do this. So the next thing we want is our downloads again. And we found, where's our trading paints? Where did it go? I don't even know what it did with our trading paints. Oh, well, let's do iRacing real fast. So we're going to double-click the executable file, the EXE here. I'll click yes. Next. Next. And just follow the instructions that this EXE, that this installer gives you. So it's that simple. When you are done, though, you're going to need that account information that you created because you're going to have to set this account up. You're going to have to sign into this account. Once you set the account up, you need the information you use because you're going to have to sign into it once we're finished installing iRacing. And no, the 250 megs or whatever it was that we downloaded to start is not the full download for iRacing. There's going to be a ton of updates once we get in there. That's why we're going to go ahead and start this part of it now. And then we'll see how long it takes from there. But typically the install doesn't take that long, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the process with you, because if you're brand new to sim racing and you put out your first $975, which is under $1,000 for sim racing, so it'll come up here and tell you the version of iRacing Simulator requires 64-bit MSVC. Go ahead and get it. Just click OK. Agree to it. Install. It's going to do this about 4 or 5 times, so we're just going to go over it as it goes, and typically it goes super fast, so I'm not sure what the heck the deal was there. Close that out. Now it's going to get to 32-bit MSVC. Going to go ahead and install that. And usually it just picks that up real quick. So for you, it might be a lot faster. I don't know why mine's doing that. And here we go again. Same thing. We'll do this about 4 times, and then we'll do the DirectX installer. I've done this enough. I just know how it goes. Okay. So we got that done. Close this out. And here comes the 32-bit of that. So we'll accept that, install it. All right, so we'll close that out. And now we're going to do the 32-bit side of this. This is just the repetitiveness at the end of the install. If you got this far, it's just adding insult to injury, in my opinion here, but you got to do it. So here's the DirectX one. This will pop up on, it'll pop open a box in your top left corner. So go up there, accept the agreement, click next, next, and it'll start installing your DirectX updates. iRacing does use DirectX 11 like we read about before. Skip the installation here. So when that box pops up, skip it, click finish. And then we're going to get our anti-cheat installed, and the installation succeeded, so we're going to click OK. And it's going to finish the install now, and it's going to ask us to create shortcuts, so we're going to click yes on that. And then we're going to launch I'm going to go ahead and leave it checked because we got the drivers for our wheel in, but remember, we have to do a restart. So we got to do a restart on our computer, so we're not going to launch that yet. We're just going to click finish. So I don't know what happened to my trading paints. I'm going to open that up, and I never downloaded it. That's what happened. So I downloaded Trading Paints, and I'm going to go ahead and open that up now, and here's the setup wizard. Once you open it up, click next, next, and install. Click yes. And then you can go ahead and launch Trading Paints if you want. It's going to launch whenever you want it to. It's not going to launch on startup, and if you close it, it's just going to pop up, stay open in the tray down there, so it's not a big deal. All right, so we have iRacing installed. We got our drivers for our wheel. We now have Trading Paints. You should have already had your headset plugged in so you can listen to what's going on here, but if you didn't, that's okay too. So the next thing we're going to do is restart our computer, and I'll catch you back here after we do the restart. Okay, so we are back after our restart our computer, and we have everything installed now. So you should have seen your wheel cycle back and forth as the computer was rebooting. And if that's the case, then it probably likely picked up the drivers, but you can go in your device manager and check it. For me, I just right-click on the start window down here. Go up to Device Manager, click on it. And then I guess it's going to be, is it under Game Controllers? Now we got USB audio, so is it Human Interface? I can't remember what they put it under. Right there, Human Interface. Thrustmaster TMX Racing Wheel USB. So our drivers are installed on it. We don't have any alerts or anything for it, so we're good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and open up our iRacing UI. So double click that. That icon's going to be on your desktop. And we're going to log into it, but again, I'm going to have to move that so you don't get my account, but I'm going to log into mine because we need to be in iRacing to show you what to do next. So just give me a second. I type slow like an old man because I am an old man. That make good sense on why I type slow then, right? All right. Password, remembering it. I'm an old man. I think this is right. So let's see here. We'll click login and incorrect credentials. So apparently that was not correct. Oh, that's why. We forgot to put .com after our email address. So we'll log in again. Oh, and it worked that time, so we didn't have incorrect credentials. I'm going to slide the box over as soon as it logs in here and lets me. There we go. So this is how it's going to log in once you get signed in. It's going to tell you you have optional updates. And if you look, it says required updates must be installed to continue. I'm going to select content, and I'm going to purposely select required, because you don't need to download all the content in iRacing because you're not going to own it when you get started. So go down to select content and put select required. You're going to have a 5.8 gigabyte download, 5.88, so 5.9. So we're going to go ahead and click yes, and we're going to start that download, and that's going to let us get into iRacing. I have really fast internet, so this shouldn't take but a minute or two. And we're going to go ahead and let this 5.8 gigabytes down update download go ahead. And then it's going to install that 5.8 gigabytes, and we are going to have updates done where we can at least get into the iRacing UI and see what the heck it looks like. So you're brand new to this, and I'm sure you want to see that beautiful interface when it opens up. But now's time where get yourself familiar with the wheel and the buttons on it, because you're going to be setting some of these buttons up. So if you find buttons that are easier to reach for you and you're more comfortable with and you can remove it or you can use it easier, go ahead and memorize where those buttons are. Get familiar with the shifting. Most your G29 or your TMX will have paddles, and a lot of wheels do, on the back of the steering wheel. And for me, I'm the guy that uses the right paddle for upshifting, the left paddle for downshifting. That's just how it is. Discord, when you get friends and stuff online, or if you already got them, then you might want to download Discord at this time while this is installing and go ahead and get Discord installed. We're not going to do that, even though I have friends online. I don't need to talk to any of them right now. We're just doing this as a video for you to get sim racing in 2025 for under $1,000. And I think we've accomplished that with pretty decent equipment. So we did good there. But this download, this has taken a little bit longer than what I expected, so we'll just get back to it in a second. Okay, we got our updates done. We're finally in the UI here. Thank goodness. I got to remember how to move it to dark theme. So if you click under your helmet on the top right, I like dark theme, so I go down there and set that up. So we want to get set up to do a test drive, and I don't know what your flavor is. So whether you're a road racer, or you want to be a road racer, you inspire to be one, or if you're an oval guy. For me, I'm an oval guy, so I'm going to hit test. And last thing I tested was the Xfinity at Kansas, so you can click here. Just click on the car, and you can go down and choose any car that you want. And you got to look at what you have available, because you'll have a new account, so you're not going to have what I do. So what do I know is a free one? I think the Dirt Street Stock's actually free. I ain't been in a dirt car a while. Let's select that one. Now you come over next to it, you're going to see track. We're going to click there, and we're going to come down and find our track that we want to go to. And in my case, it's going to be a dirt track, so Charlotte Motor Speedway, Charlotte has a dirt. Well, let's find something else here. Got to be a track that I have. Where's Eldora at? Let's just do Eldora. And we got updates, and you're going to have updates too, because we just did the 5.8 gigabyte one. So we're going to run this installer real quick. Close that message out. I think that part of the issue today is iRacing did the update, so it says we got nothing selected, and I can assure you that we do. There we go. We're just going to reselect it, download it. And it's going to do like before. It's just going to open the uploader. And this shouldn't take near as long, so we're going to stay with it. Because after all, we want to get in our first test session, not race, people. If you guys and gals are just joining, you just don't want to jump in there and start racing. You're just going to make people mad and potentially get your iRacing account taken away for a little while, or get a stern warning from iRacing for wrecking people. So we don't want to do that. We want to practice. So let's just say you're a dirt racer, and I normally do asphalt oval and some road courses on asphalt, but let's just say you're a dirt racer. The first thing I'm going to do is fire up my trading paints before I go in here. And then one thing I didn't do is on the drop down at the top, I want to choose my monitor as my screen. So in your case, it'll be that 27-inch, 144 hertz monitor that you chose on eBay and got a great deal on it, in my opinion. Oh, thank you, by the way, Vern. All right, so let's go back to, we selected our monitor. I'm going to go to test drive now. You should be in that. You'll click test drive, and it's going to show you, it's going to display out of your monitor, launch sim. And this is probably going to open up the graphics, what do they call it? When it tests your graphics for you, your recommended graphics settings. So it may take a couple of extra minutes when you first do this. There it is right there, auto configure. So we're going to auto configure it. And this is just a quick way to get you started. You can tweak around with that stuff after you're in iRacing for a little while and you understand it better. And we're going to go 1920 by 1080 at 144 hertz. So finish that. And now we're going to load into the sim after we get that done. Once we're in there, we're going to have to set up our wheels and pedals. So that's going to be the first thing, our steering wheel and our pedals. So that'll be the first thing we do once we get in here. You can see that we're loading into it pretty quickly here. Your eBay computer is probably going to do the same thing. We are on Windows 11. And that's going to be important too, but you can watch my other videos if you want to know why. All right, so here we are. We're going to configure our controls, and if our drivers are right and we did our restart, then this should be pretty simple. So turn all the way to the right, bring her all the way to the left, and then take it right back to the center, which is for me is going to be 50% and probably you too. So done. Now you're going to turn the wheel 90 degrees to the left. So take the top of it and put it in a 90 degree. It's going to put you about 900 degrees, which is fine. Go back to center, click done. Now fully depress your throttle. Let off, click done. Fully depress your brake. Done. Use auto clutch because remember we got a 2-pedal setup here. And we're going to I'll have to adjust my iRacing sound. So now you want to upshift. I'm going to use my paddle shifter. So my right one's going to go up while my left one's going to shift down. No H pattern shifter for us. Look left and right. On the TMX, I use Y and B. So Y is the furthest button on the top left and B is on the right. So look left is going to be button Y, and look right will be button B. So now to exit and enter the pits, there's a button on the lower bottom left. The far left one is what I'm going to use for that. I'm going to click done. Done. So now we're done with that. I'm going to go in and turn my sounds down, or it's going to blast so loud in my... There we go. So that'll keep it from blasting into OBS while we're trying to record. But now you're ready for your first test session. Your frame rates are on. You can see them in the top right corner. So when you get in a car, there's your frame rates up there. You can see what kind of frame rates we're running. If you want to move around in the car, this is important too. So if you see your
Guess they'd be your bracket keys, your quotation keys, like. In my case, it's under the top row of numbers on the right here. But one of those will move you back, the other one will move you forward in your car. I'm just going to go a little bit forward so I can see the windshield better. So it's adjusted your field of view is what you're doing. So your eye distance and your field of view. If you hit shift in one of those buttons, it'll take you up and down in the car, in the seat. So you can see we're going up and down there. I'm just going to put it back at 0% on the horizon. I'm going to leave it sitting about right here. So I'll take a couple laps here, and then we can probably conclude the video. But everything looking pretty good on the graphics so far. And oh, got to get my old car to turn here. I ain't been on dirt in a long time. And I'm not on my main rig. I'm on equipment that I had laying around. Oh, we hit the wall. Oh, and we forgot to set a tear-up off, so. Man, I just barely touched the wall, and it says I got wheel damage. Oh, we're going to spin her out just like driving on dirt. Let's get out of the car real quick because I need to set a tear-up off to do a couple laps here, so I can't remember how to do it unless it's under miscellaneous. Control maybe, tear off. We'll set a button for that right here. So I got me tear off set up. How's that? So we'll get out here, and I got cables in my way and everything trying to stream this and do it, but I'll get her up to speed one more time. And these dirt cars are about finesse, especially this street stock here, so we're going to finesse it. I got to turn hard left, though. These ain't supposed to be easy cars to drive. Maybe we should be running the top at Zeldor, right? Get a little bit better run off the corner when we do it, but man, it seems like I'm lifting to keep from wrecking here. It's a lot of throttle control on the dirt tracks, and it's my mic cable that's in the way, and it's affected me greatly. Got a little too far sideways there, so we're going to save her and straighten her out. And I'm only going to do a few laps here for you because you might be a road course junkie anyway on your start. But the idea here is get your favorite car, your favorite track, and practice it. Or go look at where the official series are. And I'm going to show you how to navigate that stuff in the UI a little bit. Oh, look at that. We're turning better laps now. Got a few laps on our TMX and our little cheap pedals, and don't think that you guys and gals cannot be competitive with this, because you can. So that's what I want to get at. So one other thing I'm going to show you, because the video is just going to get entirely too long if we don't do this stuff, is we're going to get out of the car, and the computer and setup did good. We had no problems there, so we're good to go. If you go to your UI right here, and you go down and click official, you're going to be a rookie, so it's going to show you what you're eligible to do, okay? So I'm not going to have that, but anybody can do Pickup Cup, and they're at Charlotte Motor Speedway now. So if we pick that, it shows that it's Charlotte, and we click update, and we're going to download the updates, which are very small. Should take just a second, but the reason I'm going to do this is because you can practice without going in a session with other people. Well, you can go in a session and practice with other people without going into a session to race. So that's a nice little feature to have. This is when you've done private testing and you're comfortable. Don't do this before you're comfortable, because people get really upset. We'll just put it that way. People get really upset if you're in there and you're crashing. They don't understand that you're new, or they don't know that you're new. So for them, it's a little more serious than that. So I updated my Pickup Cup. If you click Go Racing right here, the blue button on the right, It's going to tell you you can register for the next race or register for a practice session. Or you can go down here and do test drive. So if you click on test drive, it's going to give you all the settings for that track, and it's going to give them to you in a private setting. So you won't be affected any other people, but yet you can turn laps and get used to running around that track. When you get ready for it, you're going to click the Go Racing and go up there and hit a practice session. You know, go into a practice session with other drivers in it if you're feeling comfortable and confident at that track, and try it out. You might be surprised. So we'll load into this session real quick so I can show you that it is a private test session, and that it is the same track and layout that the particular pickup cup is at this week. So that's a nice feature for them to have the test drive, and that's exactly what it's there for. It's there for you to use for practice and getting comfortable in the car and the track, basically, and before you get out there with other people or you go racing. The other thing about Pickup Cup and Carburetor Cup is that it doesn't count against your safety rating or your IR in iRacing. So we're here in the Pickup Cup at Charlotte, and if you haven't seen it, we'll take a lap in it real quick. This is an old truck. This was my favorite truck on iRacing, just so you know. I've been on iRacing since beta in 2008, and this right here is my favorite truck by far. So we're just going to make a partial lap here, and look how good the track looks. So your eBay computer's doing pretty darn good on the graphics here. We're holding a really good frame rate. And keep in mind, you don't have other people on the track right now, so this truck you can pretty much hold open. So it's a nice one if you're an oval racer. It's a really nice one to start with because you can hold it just like I'm showing, pretty much wide open. I'm going to come out of the gas a little on corner entry because I want to keep it down close to the racing line here that we have on. So this is just showing you the Pickup Cup as an example. And just practice until you get comfortable doing this. I'm using the desk, and you might be too, or you might be using a wheel stand, or maybe you spent a little bit more money and you bought a cockpit. I mean, that's all up to you. But you can see my times popping up on the bottom right there, so you're welcome to take those times and run some laps on your own on your new equipment, and maybe I can give you something to shoot for here. So let's see if I can put down a good lap for you to shoot for. And then you can say, hey, I'm competitive with the guy that's been doing sim racing for all these years. Oh, look at that. That guy creamed the wall. We still turned a pretty good lap, 31.097 right here. I think we can get in the sub-30s pretty easy. But the truck feels like it's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit free. But we'll see if we can make this lap and not hit the wall, and it might go just a tad bit faster. Down here in 3 and 4 again, and we're just lifting off. Gonna turn it left hard. Got her off the corner, and yes, sir, we're faster, sub 30 easy. I thought it was a 31.110, so my counter at the top definitely told me some lies. This time I'm just gonna stick her to the floor. I'm just gonna hold it to the floor. I think it'll make it. Maybe down here in 3 and 4 we'll have to lift a little bit, but oh, she tried to unload going into the corner. Now a little bit loose in the center, but we're still tracking pretty decent. There you go, 39.22. I thought we could get down. I thought we could get down lower than that. So, and that's just with turning 5 laps here. So that's going to be it for me. But you need to turn a lot more than that if you're brand new to iRacing. I'll finish this up on the GoPro, but it's definitely doable for under $1,000 with pretty good results right here. You're on a single screen, and I'll talk to you on the GoPro about things you can upgrade to and stuff, but this is the OBS part of it. So if you got this far, then you did it. You've got your setup. Congratulations is the best way to put it, because
This is it's a little series I wanted to put together because there's a lot of people that haven't sim raced before. So it's good to be able to set a budget in mind to start out with and then look at what you can get for that budget. And we set up an entire rig all the way from the PC to the keyboard, mouse, steering wheel, pedals, all of it. We got the entire rig set up right here. This is basically what I'm going to show you is what under $1,000 can get you, and probably even $750 if you find good enough deals on maybe a used PC on Marketplace or something. Our PC was from eBay for the video's sake it was, and it was $500. So, and that was shipped to our door. We didn't have to go to Marketplace, do any sketchy deals at sketchy houses or neighborhoods or anything. So we did it on eBay, made it simple and easy, and we got it hooked up and working with our eBay monitor. We ordered everything off eBay, and we did it for under $1,000. So that's based off the video, and these are comparable pieces. That's 144 megahertz Acer monitor. It's a Logitech keyboard, not the Razer that come in the video that I'm gonna, in this video I'm showing you. The $500 gaming PC, which will be similar specs to this one. And of course ours is a Thrustmaster wheel, but the eBay sake video was a $100 G29. Either or doesn't matter is what I'm saying. Upgrades in the future though, these right here, the first thing you want to upgrade. Get you a decent set of pedals, and if you bought the Thrustmaster TMX wheels, if you bought the Logitech, you're already going to have a clutch pedal, and you can add a shifter to that. But if you bought the TMX, the Thrustmaster, then you can buy the TP3MA Pros, I guess, or TP3A Pro pedals. And you can get them for around $100 too. Pedals are a great upgrade, especially the brake pedal. And if you're into road course and stuff, you'll find out why really fast that pedals are a great upgrade. But you have upgradability in the future on your wheels, your pedals. Add you a cockpit. I mean, those things, that right there. I built that one, but you can build one just like it. And for turning lap after lap, and when you want to be comfortable. For me, sitting in a desk chair and having it set up on a desk like this is probably not the most comfortable thing. So it's important for you to be comfortable when you're doing your sim racing. But starting out at a desk and chair, I did it for a long time. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? So it's doable. And if you got the wheel stand and stuff, you can just sit at a regular chair, and it makes it even more comfortable. But when you set your cockpit up and get it set up good, then obviously you're going to see that that's the better way to go. But we're doing it on a single monitor to start, so upgrades later. I'm on a dual setup because I have OBS running. But, you know, an upgrade later would be to add 2 more of those nice Acer monitors on your racing rig and set you up triple screens or anything, but it's limitless from this point on. This got you started iRacing or sim racing in general and gaming. So you can download Steam or Riot and get your favorite games downloaded and start gaming even. But this did it all for under $1,000 and got you a decent system that will run probably this one here mid-grade all day long, but it'll do it, and it got you a decent system to do that for. That's on the Ryzen, it's even upgradable, so we can go as high as like a 5900X CPU in this build. Even the eBay one that I showed you, mine will definitely do it, but the eBay one will too. But that's gonna do it. I mean, this is a video that I've really been wanting to make for a while because I hardly ever think about it. I've been sim racing since 1995 approximately. I've been iRacing since beta in 2008. So I don't never hardly think about what it's like or what a person must think when you're starting out in this. Hell, when I started it, you couldn't even hardly find a steering wheel anywhere. So, I mean, the internet was just getting started. We didn't have Amazon and all that stuff yet that we were buying from. And we didn't have all the wheel manufacturers, you know, that make the steering wheels and the pedals. So it was different times for sure. It was a lot different times. And now there's such a wide variety of options that I think getting into it now would really be easier and better than it was back then. But groundbreakers like us is the reason why it's easier to get into now, if that makes sense. So just to be able to share my knowledge with you on this video, I know it's going to be a long one, But if you're getting started in sim racing, this is definitely worth the watch. Because yes, it is doable. There's some of you that might ask if you can do it on a lower budget. You absolutely can, but you're just going to suffer on what you have and what you can get for the lower budget. So keep that in mind. I mean, you might be able to find a $250 or $300 gaming PC. Do it. As long as it gets the specs right. I mean, you don't want to buy an old AMD quad core or like an Intel Core 2 Duo setup or nothing like that, because you're not going to get good results. I know from experience. Don't try that. I'll make the mistakes at SimStation, or there won't be mistakes for you. I'll just show you what your mistakes would be. This is my hobby, to mess with all this stuff, so I'll do it just so you don't have to. But this is a good solid. This right here, this computer's actually going for sale, so I'm going to format the hard drive on it, but this is a good start. You know, a good $500 eBay PC, decent monitor, and voila, there you go. And look at the frame rates. I'm not making this up. Let's jump in the truck here, okay? I wouldn't make this up. You can see the frame rates right there. And this is with a $100 graphics card that I put in this build I have, which is just the 6600 XT. So you're still at 150 frames, and we haven't even messed with any of the graphics. And we'll get going here. Look at that. I mean, this on the single 144 hertz monitor, run it all day long. Really good, and that's how you run through the grass, and we're not dirt tracking here. But I just wanted to show you that, and we were recording on OBS while we were doing it, so you'll be able to see all that in a video. But that's going to do it. Upgradability, like I said, pedals are the first thing I would upgrade, especially if you already have a wheel stand. I would definitely go with the pedals first. And then after that, you know, maybe you can look to upgrading down the road, like I said, to triple screens, get your cockpit set up. And then if you stay in sim racing and you like it, spend a little more money and go with a direct drive. I went with a relatively inexpensive Moza one. And that's the Moza R5, and it works great for me. In fact, I race in a league on iRacing. I actually own the league, but I race in it too. I won the first start I made with that Moza racing wheel. So that was a pretty big moment. One of the other guys that owned the wheel gave me settings, and I put them in, and I won with that wheel. So it's sim racing, and that's what I know best. It really is. And building the PCs, obviously, because I do that all the time. But that's going to do it for the video. And our sim racing for under $1,000 in our setup of what we got here. So, not too bad. I'm okay with it. And it's a great way to start. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, in case anybody else don't, when you start, practice, practice, and practice. That's it. SimStation is out. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you comment on it. If you are into this kind of stuff and you want to get into sim racing, did this help you? Let me know. And maybe we can do more videos of upgrading stuff and how we do that. But that's going to do it. We'll see you on the next video.